beware, beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Monday morning to everyone. I hope everybody, friend and foe, had a safe, prosperous, and enjoyable weekend. And people, hey, I got a lot of political enemies out there. I got a lot of people that don't like me. And you know what? Honestly, don't give a damn. And see, I don't like them. But I like their families because, you know, their families are probably pretty decent. There's a black sheep in every family. I'm the one in mine, and my enemies are probably the one in theirs. But I want to see even my enemies go home at night. Not so much for them, but for their families, their daughters, their sons, their wives, their brothers, their sisters. So that's why I always wish, people say, well, why do you wish your enemies? I wish my enemies bad political health. You hear me? Bad political health, but not bad physical health. I would say bad mental health, but there's nobody worse mentally than I am. But that's okay. See, I know my limitations. I know where I came from. I know what I've done in my life, and I know where I'm trying to go. So nobody has to tell me anything. Nobody has to like me. I'm not here to try to make a friend. I'd like to make friends along the way. I'm here to try to make a difference. What a great thing if we all made a little positive difference in our lives. And you've heard me, I'm not a real religious guy. People say I don't believe in God. That's not true. I'm an agnostic. I don't know if there's a God or not. If there's a God up there, he's going to know I'm doing okay. But at the end of the day, people, we take the serious crap and we put it to the side. And we address the bull crap. Let's start addressing the serious crap. Let's all get together. I've reached out to Kern, Sprague, to try to be decent. These guys take it personal. It's not personal. It's never been personal with me until Sprague and Kern made it personal. You know, they say Barra-Civic. I'm not a big Barra-Civic fan, a John Barra-Civic fan. But a man's never did anything to hurt my family. He tried to hurt me, and that's okay. I'm up in that political ring. You expect to get hit, but don't come down there and hit my family in the audience supporting me, because I won't do it to you. But Sprague and Kern have crossed the line. These no-good asswipe, no-good-for-nothing, sleazy, greasy, and I got to apologize to the sleazy, greasy, asswipe people of the world, because they're not as bad as Mark Sweetcakes Kern or God, I'd rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal Sprague. I had a situation come up, and it wasn't a good situation, not a good situation at all. They had a untimely death in Mascoutah over the weekend, and I'm going to pay a little tribute to Brian Dawson. Brian Dawson was a father, was a brother, was a son. He died unexpectedly. He was feeling bad and died unexpectedly. And his mother and father not taking it real good. You know how humbled I felt when a sister called, family member called and said, Bob, would you go talk to Mr. and Mrs. Dawson? They'd love to talk to you because they know I'd been in the same boat. That meant more to me, people, than having the President of the United States call and asking me to come to the White House. And if you think I'm lying, I'm dying, people. The Dawson family asked poor white trash Bob Romanik to come and talk with them. I went to the house in Mascoutah. Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, beautiful people. The grandmother, nice lady. And it's a sad day. It's a sad day in the Dawson household in Mascoutah. And I have to say, I'm sure it was a sad day all over this country because someone along the way in California, New York, Cincinnati, Chicago, someone lost a loved one. And it's the same situation. I'm not putting the Dawsons on a pedestal. They wouldn't want to be put on a pedestal. But I'm acknowledging their hurt. Their hurt of everyone who loses a loved one. And I sit there with Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, and I try to tell them some of my experience. And honestly, I think the Dawsons thought that I was doing them a favor by coming out there and trying, not so much to console them, but to trying to make them understand. But I have to tell you what, Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, you did me a favor. You made it a little bit easier for me to understand as you people understood. We sit there, and this is personal, people. If you don't want to listen, turn it off. But see, this is my radio show. I'm going to say what I want when I want. And we sit there, hugged each other, cried for 10, 15 minutes. And when they say men don't cry, whoever said that's a lousy, no good son of a bitch. So we sit there, had a good conversation. But Brian Dawson, a nice young man, well respected in the Mascoutah community. And, you know, I wish I had 24 hours because this may not be interesting to some people, but it's important to the Dawsons. It's important to me. It's important to anyone who's lost a loved one. I know I can't pick everyone out personally, but I say these tributes go out to everyone, as we do at the start of our show. The moment of silence is to honor our brave military heroes and our loved ones that have passed before us. I don't want to leave anybody out, any family member. I just can't take the time as much as I'd like to, take the time and address everyone's family's loss. But I was called out to the Dawson house, and I want to say Mr. and Mrs. Dawson and Kevin, the brother, the grandmother, and the rest of the family members, our deepest thoughts are with you, our deepest condolences. You can't say anything to make anybody feel better. But I want to say Brian Dawson was a good man. I had met him a few times. A fun-loving guy, a jovial guy, a guy that brought laughter to his friends and family. So at this time, I'd like to have a moment of silence, especially for Brian Dawson. But all of you, put yourself in this position, any family member that has passed. This goes out to you too. This moment of silence isn't for any one individual, because there's not one individual better, more important than our family members, politicians included. No one's more important than our family members. They may be just as important, but they're no more important. So I want to say to all the good people of Mascoutah, you've lost a great friend. You've lost a great community person who got involved in community activities. And I know mother and father, Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, John Dawson, I know they're hurting now. And I told them. And they asked, as I asked when my son passed, how do you get over it? And I had to be honest. I said, you don't. You never, ever, ever get over it. But I told them, you got to keep them in your heart. Don't keep them up there in your mind. And I got very little mind left. But don't keep them up in your mind, because you'll think what you could have, should have, could have done. And at the end of the day, that's the only game that none of us win, people. The game of life. Because the game of life, to play it, just like a ball player, to be a good football player, you have to train, you have to work hard, you have to diet. That's what you do. That's what you do to become a good football player. And to become a good person, to have a good life, you don't have to train. The only thing you have to do in the game of life is die. That's the ultimate. Now, it's not pretty. It's not pretty for anybody. But that's what you pay. That's the price you pay to live. You got to die. So we want to take it, and don't want to be morbid about it. It actually hurts the living more than it hurts the dead, because we're around to mourn. But anyway, at this time, I'd like to take a moment of silence out, especially for Brian Dawson, our good friend that everyone will miss from Mascoutah, but for everyone that's lost a family member. And I'll have people tell me, Romanik, you got a little bit too serious today. And to them, I would say, kiss my white, hairy, stinky ass. This is something that needs to be addressed. We can play politics day in and day out. I can go crazy day in and day out. But see, I want to make a difference. I hope to make a friend along the way. You've heard me before. But if I don't, that's fine. I want to make a difference. I hope you people want to make a difference, a positive difference, not only in your lives. If you make a positive difference in your life, it'll reach out and help somebody else's life. Now, they can say Bob Romanik's a no good, rotten, no good, no count, low life, white trash son of a bitch, and I'm probably all of the above. But I got a heart, and I understand people. See, I'm from the street. I'm not from the white ivory towers. I don't think most of us listening are from the white ivory towers. We're from the streets. And when you get out there in the dirty street, guess what, people? You get dirty. You don't get dirty if you're in a $1 million house. You don't get dirty if you've never had to get out and bust your ass and sweat your ass off like I have, like you good people have. You're never going to get dirty that way. You're not going to get dirty when your mommy and daddy gives you the money. You'll never get dirty. But you'll never live a decent life. You'll never experience life. And I tell you, I've experienced life on both sides. I've experienced life on both sides, as a lot of us have. Some of us were more fortunate and didn't get caught doing what they did, and that's okay. I'm glad for you. But just remember, in this game of life, in this game of politics, we take this crap too serious. It's about taking care of our families, individually taking care of our families. But the problem is, we can't take care of our families unless we play politics, because these politicians are destroying our families, our country, our future. And that's serious, people. You know, it's not any better than it's ever been. But let's have a moment of silence right now. We'll take a break after that so I can recoup here. But Brian Dawson, I'm sure if there's a heaven, he's up there. And Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, you've done all you could do. You did all you could do to love your son, to take care of your son. So don't feel bad about what happened to your son. Feel bad about losing your son, because what happened to your son, you had no part of. And if you keep him in your heart, you won't ever, ever lose him. Thank you very much, people, for your patience and decency. We're going to take a break. I'm not going to go crazy. Let's just go to break. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. You've heard me. It's humbling, people. Bob Romanik, poor white trash. People come up, actually want to take their picture with me, and I think the only reason they do is so they can tell their relatives, hey, you said I was the ugliest son of a bitch around. Look at this guy in the picture with me. And that's okay. If I can help somebody out along the way, if I can make somebody feel better about themselves, if I can maybe get a guy can make a score on his girlfriend because she's going to think that he ain't the ugliest son of a bitch in town that Bob Romanik is. If I can be of help, I've got no problem with that. I appreciate that I can help someone. But it's just humbling the people who will come up to you. And people, it's not Bob Romanik. I take a crap. I wee-wee just like all of us. It's the message. It's the message that's important. It's not Bob Romanik. Bob Romanik's not important to nobody but Bob Romanik's family. But the message is important to all of us, people. The message is important to all of us. And so I want to say hi to everybody that I forgot their names at all the events we were at this weekend. Rob's Concrete in Alton. I talked to that gentleman up at Wood River Bakery. We usually congregate before we go up to Grafton on a Sunday to try to relax. But Dustin and all the guys at Rob Concrete in Alton, we want to tell you hi. And Dustin did say that he was the best looking guy out of the bunch from Rob's Concrete. And guys, if he is, you guys are all some ugly son of a bitches, because he was by far not the better looking than me, of course, but not all that good looking. And on a serious note, we were at Haley's benefit at Kaskaskia River House in New Athens. That's a beautiful place down there. You guys need to get down to the Kaskaskia River House. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. But Haley's a little 2.5-year-old girl from Millstadt battling leukemia. We were out there yesterday, had a bunch of great bands, great time. I think it was somewhat successful, but they still need some money for this poor little girl. And Chris is handling that situation. And if you would or could donate a little bit, you can call Chris at 618-401-2999. Now, you know, $5 here, $10 there, that's a cup of coffee. If it was your family, you'd want it done for you. So let's do it for her. Let's take care of our little housekeeping. They're having their chili cook-off this Saturday. Coming up, October the 8th. Is this Saturday or it's next Saturday? Yeah, hell, never mind. It's next Saturday, but they're still looking, the good people, the great people in Freeburg, having their chili cook-off on Saturday, October the 8th. If you'd like to get involved, you can call Matt Trout at 618-410-8077. Now, what I would like, I will, out of respect for our brave first responders, our policemen, our firemen, our dispatchers, our first responders, our medical people, I will be more than happy. I will be more than happy to pay your entry fee, and I will be more than happy to buy the ingredients so you guys can make chili. I just like to see 10, 15, 20 police and fire departments out there so we could pay tribute to you guys. But even if not, for everyone, the chili cook-off, Saturday, October the 8th in Freeburg, a great time. Sponsored by the Freeburg Chamber of Commerce. We'll be out there. I hope you good people will too. The A-Night Shriners, they're looking for volunteers. They're looking for members. Great group of guys. They're located at 609 St. Louis Avenue in East St. Louis. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact their business office at 618-874-1870. Great group of guys. They do whatever and whenever they can for our children. And anybody that takes care of our children and loves children and animals, there's a place in my heart, in my little heart for them, because they're great people. And they're having a screening for children with bone, muscle, or joint problems. No charge, people. The Shriners never take a penny. Those great guys never take a penny. It's sponsored by the Belleville Shrine Club of the A-Night Shriners, and it'll be held Saturday, October the 1st from 9 to 11 a.m. at Memorial Hospital, 4500 Memorial Drive. If you'd like any information, and it says, well, walk-ins welcome, you can call 618-444-9050. Speaking of the Kaskaskia River House, their car cruise coming up Sunday, October the 9th, and we'll talk about that later. Sunday, October the 2nd, The Misfits Car Club will have their car show, and we'll talk about that later. That's next week. Everything's next week. Don't forget, you can... Hold on, wait a minute. Do I have one here? No, I don't. I don't want to mess with this. It pisses me off. We don't want to go there. I got to say, and you know, I want to get on this Kaepernick. I want to get on these people sitting down during the anthem. But, you know, I've got calls, and we're on this subject. And I got to say, please, if I hear one more time, and this is personal again, people. I'm on a personal day today, I guess. If I hear one more time that I'm a candidate for office and you can't say what I say and be successful, and I say to that, and I say what I want, I will say what I want, when I want, about whoever I want. And as far as being successful, people, and this is a little poignant, and this is personal, a little personal. If you want to listen, fine. If you don't. But I'm going to get this off my chest because, see, at this point, I don't give a damn. And I want people to understand that. I want to fight for you good people. I don't give a damn what somebody thinks about me. I don't give a damn what somebody says about Bob Romanik. So you say it all day long. My enemies are my friends. But I'll say what I want, when I want. Being a candidate is secondary to me. Being a man is first. And I want to say, though, to my enemies and my friends who say, hey, if you don't do that, Bob, if you talk about people, you won't be successful. You know, as far as being successful, I thought about it. I often thought about by working hard and doing the right thing would make you successful. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? And so I did. I did just that. But let me tell you, I have worked hard. I have been successful financially. I want to tell you, people, and here's my philosophy on life, what little life I've got left. I'm a complete failure. Do you hear me? Bob Romanik is a complete failure. I don't have to hear it from you people, my enemies. I don't hear it from my friends, even though if they think it, they're not going to say it. I'm a complete failure. I could not and did not keep my son alive. So to everyone, let me tell you loud and clear, I know I'm a complete failure. I failed at the most important thing in my life. I failed at keeping my son alive. So let me tell all of you, especially my enemies, you can never, ever hurt me as much as I've hurt myself. You understand that, you asswipe bastards? And you can't hate me any more than I hate myself for not being able to keep my son alive. And having said that, now, do you not know that I do not give a damn about you sleazy, greasy bastard politicians? You think I give a damn about this election? What I gave a damn about, I couldn't win. You think I care about winning an election? I'm fighting for the people. It's not going to make me any difference, win or lose. You know, I take life and death serious. But this corrupt, despicable game that we call politics, because politics is an ugly, ugly blood sport that most decent people don't want to get involved in. Isn't it a shame in this great country that the decent people don't want to get involved in politics, and you got to get low-life son of a bitches like me and Kern and Sprague and the rest of us low-life bastards? We're the only ones that get involved in this blood sport, in this dirty, filthy game of politics. That's why, people, that our government's in such bad shape. That's why we don't have good people leading this country. Because they're afraid. They don't want to go through the mill. They want to go through the blood sport. They want to go through the criticism. So you get no good son of a bitches running your country. And you see what's happening. And I tell you, I'm the second worst candidate running for my office. My opponent just happens to be the first. It's hell when you got to vote for the lesser of two evils, isn't it? Isn't it hell when you got to vote for the lesser of two evils? And I got to tell you, I am the lesser of the two evils. So people, all of yous out there, let it be known. My friends, you can't console me, and I appreciate them when they tried. My enemies can't hurt me. I put a bullet through my own head, people. I've killed myself. I was unsuccessful as a father. You think I give a damn what you think about me? You think I give a damn what anybody thinks about me at this point? So let's get over that. Let's get over that. Let's try to make this country a little bit better. I think I can help. I'll let you know I'm a no good son of a bitch. I ain't perfect. I've made mistakes and I'm going to continue. But see, I can't make any bigger mistake than I made by not keeping my son alive. Did everything I could do, but it didn't work. So you don't have to call me a failure. My enemies, I am a failure. But you think that's going to stop me from fighting you rotten bastards, you Kearns and Sprague, who screwed with my son when he was alive and when he died? You think I'm going to let that bother me? You think I'm going to let that stop me? And for you people out there that wonder why Romanik has so much hatred in his heart, what little heart he has for these rotten bastards, that's why. They'd do it to my son, they'd do it to your family. So guys, my enemies, say what you want when you want. It's not going to bother me. I can't be bothered anymore than I'm bothered. Call me a no good son of a bitch. Call me a rotten bastard. Call me a convicted felon. But you can't say I wasn't a good father. Having said that, let's, and thank you people for the ones that stuck around for listening to me rant and rave on that. I know it's not any of your business, but it was my business, and I wanted to get that off my chest. So any of you guys, don't say you shouldn't, couldn't, Bob, because I'm going to do what the hell I want. I'm going to do what the hell I want when I want. And speaking of doing what I want when I want, if I'm elected state representative, I promise you, good people, I will never vote to raise a tax. But you know what else I'll do? Now, this may hurt me with the educational community. And just like I said, remember, I don't care. If I'm elected state representative, any high school, any college that let their athletes sit, kneel, lay on the ground during the national anthem, I'll go to hell if I won't fight to pull every and all funding from that school. I do not give a damn. We've got this Kaepernick, this rotten bastard who got cut by the 49ers, this inbred, good-for-nothing bastard. He's got a high school in Compton, California, laying on their backs during the national anthem. Now, I'll tell you what, you school district out there, you bunch of ass-white bastards, I'm the superintendent of that school district. That'd be the last time they laid on their backs during the national anthem. Now, they may lay on their backs during the national anthem, but it wouldn't be in our school uniforms. It wouldn't be on our school property. They've got every right to do what they want, to criticize this country, but I have every right, as you do, to protect and honor this country. Can you people believe that? What is this country coming to? And these state universities. We support people. We, the taxpayers, support the University of Illinois, Western Illinois, where I'm an alumni, Eastern Illinois, Southern Illinois, Swick College. We, the taxpayers, support all these universities and colleges. And are we going to let this happen? We need to call every one of our state senators, state legislators, congressmen, U.S. senators, and let them know if that happens at one of our universities, we won't have to worry about it happening a second time, because we'll yank the funding from that sports, not from the whole school. We'll yank the sports funding forever. These asswipe son of a bitches are going to take the bullet that we give them and shoot us with it? No, it was to protect us, not to hurt us. In this country, we're training them now at the high school level, the 16, 17, and 18-year-olds to despise and disrespect this country? What the hell's wrong with us? What's wrong with us, the people? And you've heard me before. I thought majority ruled. After this election, and I don't have time before, and you guys know I'm half nuts, majority rules in this country, but it seems like it's all these asswipe little splinter groups that are actually ruling this country. The majority is not ruling this country. But let me tell you, after this election, I've got it all ready for a national group that I'm going to spearhead. It's not the NAACP. You've heard me before, and I'm not kidding about this, people. It's the NAME, the National Association for Majority Equality. Do you hear me, people? Majority equality. Not majority better, want more. Not majority want everything. Not majority be the best. National Association for Majority Equality, name. Think about it, people. The majority of us, if it's a black-white situation, the majority is white. And there's racial problems. We try to identify them. We try to rectify them. But then we have more so the majority that are straight and the minority, the vast minority, which are gay. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, Kern or Dupert. I know you're supportive of the gay community because, you're all inclusive. But anyway, having said that, why do the transgenders get their way and the vast majority of us to say, no, you're going to go into the bathroom of a man if you got a little wee-wee, and if you don't, you're going into the women's bathroom? Why do we let the minority dictate to the majority in that situation? Why do we let the minority, the crap bums, the rotten bastards, sleazy, greasy criminals, not protesters, both black and white? There's enough blame to go around for each of the races on this protest, this criminal crap that's going on all throughout our country. Why do we, as a majority of hardworking, decent, law-abiding citizens, why do we let the vast minority take control and dictate what we're going to do? Will you people answer me that? Can you answer me that? We better nip this crap in the bud, people. The National Association for Majority Equality. I'm back, and I'm coming back, and I hope you people join in. Majority rules in this country. Majority doesn't dictate, but what the majority says is what we do. That's what elections are about. Person who gets one more vote than the other, he wins the election. He's the majority. Let's think about it, and think about this crap. I see in the paper these professional basketball team, the WNBA basketball. They get down on their knees. I got to say, ladies, and this is a bunch of ladies. The NWA, the Women's Professional Basketball League. Maybe there's another reason you should get down on your knees, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. These are professional athletes. And they're dictating because, see, we love our professional athletes. What do these ass bums do? And I don't mean all of them, because there's some good professional athletes. But the vast majority are steroid head, big pill-popping, no-good son of a bitches. And we're going to look up to them? No, let's look up to our parents that helped us get through life. Let's look up to our law enforcement who protects our lives. Let's don't look up to these ass-wipe athletes. Oh, because the athlete does it, we're going to do it? That's bull crap. These athletes are thugs in ball uniforms, a lot of them, not all of them. I don't want to cast a bad light on all of them. But this is getting worse and worse every day, people. The WNBA. Now, if I'm in that stadium and they do that crap, I'm out of there. Now, I got to give the blacks credit. And I've got a lot of black friends, proud black people out there. And I've said it before, not a racial statement, a real statement. Give me 10 blacks fighting a cause than 100 whites. Because us white son of a bitches are lame. We'll back off. The blacks, when they fight for a cause, they fight for it. They're fighting against our country. Where are all the good white people? Where are all the good black people? The blacks will protest and boycott, and so these big businesses will back off, and that's good. If it's a righteous cause, that's good. Why don't we as Americans, black, white, men and women, why don't we start boycotting these pro athletes? Let's show them something. Are we going to sit back and say, oh, let somebody else? No, somebody else is us. We are the somebody else. When are we going to take a stand? The vast majority. Here you go, the National Association for Majority Equality. There's a lot more people in this great country, the United States of America. A lot more people that love our flag, that love our country, love what our country stands for. Why don't we get together and boycott all these ass white bastards? Let's hurt them in their pocketbook. They'll start understanding. But see, the majority, For whatever cause, we just sit back. Let someone else do it. People, I tell you, we are the someone else's. We can't wait for somebody else to save our country. We have to save our country. And if it sounds melodramatic, it is. Because our country's going down the tubes, people. Day in and day out. All these pictures. People laying down. People disrespecting our country. And you know what that does? You ass-white bastard protesters? That gets our military killed over in these foreign countries. Because that just enables these foreign countries. They watch this crap on television, and you know what they say? Those Americans aren't united. Let's go get them. If they thought we were united, there wouldn't be as much conflict overseas. But they see that we're divided. And this is what happens, people. You got law enforcement. We should be proud. We should be proud of our law enforcement. Why not praise the police officers? Not the few bums with badges, because there's a few bad people in every profession, in every line of duty. But why? Why do we not praise these professional police officers, these guys that put their lives in the line of fire when they're called to save our lives? Why do we not honor these guys? They're out there going to give up their lives, maybe, to save our lives, our family's life. You know, there's a bull crap national movement by a very few bad apples. Because somebody's bad, one bad policeman, there's a national movement, and everybody's disrespecting this country because there's a couple bad apples. I didn't see that, and I'm going to make some Catholics mad. I didn't see a national movement when there was pedophile priests. I didn't see a national movement when there were some doctors that were killing people with bad pills. I didn't see a national movement when these politicians get in trouble, these thieving son of a bitches. But now there's a movement because there's a couple bad police officers? That's bull crap. We can't let that happen, people. For all the shootings, 95% were justified. But you get these, they say protesters, I say greasy-ass criminals. Get these criminals who want to protest and burn down our cities. Burn down our cities because of one bad or two bad police officers. How did we as proud Americans let this happen? How we let this happen in our great country? They're destroying us from within. I've said before, don't worry about the Iraqis, the Iranis, the Pakistanis, the Syrians. Worry about the Americans. Well, I apologize. The people who say they're Americans, but they're the enemy, people. They're the enemy. Let's think about it. Let's don't let these rotten bastards take over and destroy our country. The vast, greasy ass, no count, good for nothing, vocal minority. Let's get the silent majority back. Let's do what we have to do, people. Let's unite. Let's unite. Don't have to love each other, but we have to love this country. And if we love this country, we're going to have to hold our noses, and we're going to have to hold each other's hands, and we're going to have to do what's right by this country. We don't want 200, 300 years to be thrown down the drain just because of some ass-white bastards. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I want to clear something up real quick. I just had a good friend call and said, Bob, you were a great father. I never said I wasn't a great father. I was a great father. I was just unsuccessful. I was a failure in keeping my son alive. There's some difference. But having said that, let's move on. I got to say, Kern, you're spending $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 to get your picture, your nasty ass picture out on billboards. He's on every television station. I'll bet you he spends close to $1 million, people, because he's worried. He hasn't done anything in 12 years. Now he's going to try to make up. You don't make up with it by spending $1 million showing your face and what you may do. You could have made up for it by giving that $1 million to charity, by giving that $1 million to feed the hungry, the poor, by putting that $1 million back in the coffers of the St. Clair County hardworking taxpayers who you've taken out year after year with this Mid-America airport debacle. You people understand. He's desperate. And he's thinking a few billboards with his face on there is going to make you people vote for him? Is he nuts? He's an idiot.
Where's the dress?
Oh.
Where's the dress? Tell me where's the dress? Where's the dress?
Now, Mo, let's get on down to the store and get some lipstick and some rouge.
Where's the dress? Hey, Joe, why don't we do this thing up right and get some in my ostrich balloon?
You know,
where's the dress?
I was wondering if they made a pink pump in a size 12, Mo.
Where's the dress? You don't...
Yeah, where's the dress, Kern? And you know, I think you know what I'm talking about, and I think the good people do too. But that's for another day. I wouldn't give a damn if you wore a dress, high heels, and pantyhose. I didn't give a damn if you used tampons, as long as you did right by the people of St. Clair County. But you're not doing right. You haven't done it for 12 years, and now you think the good people of St. Clair County are stupid enough because you've got ads. He's got ads on talking about and touting. This is how egregious he is. This is how stupid he thinks we are, people. Talking good about the airport. Oh, there's 150,000 people use the airport. Now I'm going to flip the script a little bit. Art on the Square. Impact to our region. $30 million. What have I said, people? The Allegiant Airlines, they get subsidized by Vegas, by Destin, Florida, by all these places because they pull the money out of our county. And people say, well, I don't know about that. Well, listen to this. This is Art on the Square in Belleville. And the lady that's in charge, Patty Gregory, a beautiful lady, know her husband, nice guy, said that they've generated over $30 million. Here's what she says. It says visitors come from all over. They average $24 in gas. They average $39 in food. They average this. All the people coming all throughout the region, not St. Clair County, but all throughout the state of Illinois to Missouri. Some people fly in. Do you understand the mentality behind that? And Patty Gregory's right. The art show, the Art on the Square, they bring people to Belleville to spend the money in Belleville, over $30 million. And that's just on art. Now, Allegiant Airline is flying our residents from St. Clair County to Vegas, where they spend a lot of money, to Florida, where they spend a lot of money. How much money do you think Allegiant Airline has pulled? If it's $30 million that we've gotten from people coming to the Art on the Square, how many millions and millions of dollars do you think we've lost to our restaurants, our taverns, our venues, our casinos? How many millions of dollars, people? This just proves my point that I've been talking about. All Allegiant Airlines doing, I hope they have no passengers because the money will stay in St. Clair County. It won't go out to Vegas. It won't go out to Destin, Florida. This just proved my point, people. Over $30 million money has been brought in from the outside region for Art on the Square in Belleville, for an art show, art sales. When our guys go to Vegas, when they go to Florida, they'll go to have a good time. If it's $30 million in art sales, it's probably $200 million that we're losing, that our businesses are losing. And Mark Kern is touting that he's successful. He lost the spy agency because of the culture of corruption, the Democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County, led by him. And now he wants another 4 years, people. Ask yourself this. He's had 12 years and done nothing but embarrass the people of St. Clair County. Done nothing but take from the people of St. Clair County. And now he thinks we're stupid enough just because he's putting $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 of his mommy's and daddy's hardworking money out for advertising. He's on every television station lying about what he's done. He's done this, he's done that. And I said yesterday or Friday, Kern, you wouldn't have had to spend a penny if you'd have been out with your public the last 12 years. If you'd have done something constructive, you wouldn't have had to spend a penny. You wouldn't have had to reach out for the voters. The voters would have reached out to you and elected you overwhelmingly. You good people of St. Clair County, Democrat, Republican, men, women, black and white, remember this son of a bitch. How can you forget the last 12 years of financial devastation in St. Clair County? And he's going to embarrass us and insult us and say what a great job he's done and spends all this money. You've heard me. I told him, give $50,000 of that campaign money for advertising. I'll put $50,000. Let's do something constructive, Kern. Let's feed the poor, the less fortunate. Let's don't spend that $50,000 on your face on billboards. People know who you are, and if they don't, that's your fault because you've been here 12 years in the county doing nothing. I think the proud Democrats have found you out, Kern. There may be signs in their yards, but I think there's a lot of people going to understand what's going on, and they're going to give someone else a chance. If you haven't done it in 12 years, Kern, you're not going to do it in another 4. But people, $30 million Art in the Square has brought in from the outside region. How much money do you think that Allegiant airline is taking from us? All the businesses ought to be pissed. The casinos, the concert venues, the restaurants, the clothing stores. That's money that could have been spent in St. Clair County. But because they want to make that airport successful after all these years, 25 some odd years, over $500 million wasted. Think about it, people, and come November the 8th, you know what you have to do. Don't let them think that we're stupid and put these bastards in another 4 years. They've been there 40 years, people, 50 years of Democratic control, of the culture of corruption. You know all the political corruption. That's why good people don't want to get involved in politics. Let's show them on November the 8th. Let's don't make it Democrat, Republican, black or white. Let's vote the person, not the party. Let's vote for the people who are going to do something. Bob Romanik's going to do something. Don't vote for me for Personality of the Year, Best Looking Guy of the Year. I'd never win those. Vote for me and our candidates because we're going to fight for you people. And if we don't, again, don't give us 40 years. Give us 4. Throw our asses out. You understand, people? This election coming up is serious. It's serious for not just you, but future generations, your children, your grandchildren. You want to see better for them. You haven't seen better for yourself, have you, people? No, you haven't. Now, the few political people, the Herbie Simmons, the Terry Beaches, the bastard that kissed Kern's ass, 3 or 4 or 5% are living good off the rest of us, off the backs of the hardworking people of St. Clair County. The 95% that have been screwed time and time again, let's get out and vote. Don't think your vote's not going to count. It'll count this time. We've got them on the run. We can destroy. We, I say, people, Democrats, Republicans, the true independents, the true Democrats, the true Republicans, men, women, black and white. We can unite and get rid of this. It's not a political organization. It's a criminal organization called the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee. You people know it. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Think about it. November the 8th is coming very soon. Don't let them okey-fadoke us. Let's do what we need to do. Let's do what we need to do. Let's destroy this democratic culture of corruption once and for all. In passing, again, I'd like to say our condolences to the Dawson family and Brian Dawson. We just hope you rest in peace. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice. of freedom, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We as Americans will be fighting. Let's fight for America, people. Let's get rid of these no good, rotten, crap bum bastards. Not just the politicians, these son of a bitches who disrespect our country, who disrespect the proud military heroes that died to give us the right to live free. You son of a bitches, you want to live free and you don't like the United States? I'll pay for you to go to Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. Get your lame asses over there and do over there what you do over here, and you won't be breathing but about a minute. You no good, unrightful, no-count, rotten bastard son of a bitches. And I don't mean politicians, you ungrateful pieces of crap. What America's done for you, and now what you're doing to America. I tell everyone, you politicians, do something for us. Don't do something to us. And that's what these asswipe protesters are doing. Get down on your knees and do something useful, you gay bunch of bastards. Let's unite. Hey, you know you're getting Radical Radio with me. Don't think it's going to get any better, people, because it's going to get worse as time goes on. But let's continue to unite, to expose these rotten bastards. And I mean, now I got to say rotten bastard politicians or rotten bastards, unpatriotic son of a bitches. Let's expose all of them. Let's drag them over the patriotic coals of hell. And when it's all said and done, let's destroy not only the asswipe, greedy, sleazy, corrupt politicians, but let's destroy these no good, unpatriotic bastards. Destroy them politically and patriotically, of course. Right here on the dark side.